Hello everyone, it's Chris with XFAT Theory. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Appreciate you being here. Alrighty, today I'm going a little nuts with videos. I've already made one based on the trucking industry, and now I've got this one which is going to be talking about investing. Hang on just a minute and I'll be right back. Alrighty guys, as you know, I just started in this whole world of investing in the stock market back in March. So I have opened up a Roth IRA, retirement fund. That is maxed out at $7,000 a year because I'm over 50. If you're under 50, it's $6,000 a year max that you can contribute. Um, Basically, that is money that's been put into retirement, invested in stock market, usually done through a second entity like mine. I'm doing it through Chase. Um, they put that money out there and try to grow it on stock market, and it's using dollars that have already been taxed. So when I go to use that money in the future, it's tax free because it's already been taxed previously. Now, I've also opened up a Webull account, and I dropped in. Right now, I've got 30,000 in that account, and that's kind of what I'm playing with. I have some other things right now that I need to focus on, so I'm not really contributing into the stock market account right now. There are other things I need to take care of and cash wise, so I'm saving my money to take care of that. So since March, I've grown that Webull up to 30,000, and I'm new. Okay, I've made some mistakes. I'm learning. I've done some things that have cost me a few dollars here and there. I've taken a couple of hits, and I've kind of learned that one of the better strategies for investing is to actually find companies that pay out a good dividend. So you invest in the stock and they pay you back money for investing in the stock. A small percentage. Generally, it's quarterly that they'll pay you. Sometimes it's monthly, but mostly quarterly. There are a few that actually only pay annually, once a year, which, that's not so great for me, in my opinion. And generally that's your better strategy is to get into these solid companies that have a good growth history, and they'll actually pay you for investing in their company. And you are buying a small little chunk of that company when you buy those stocks. And that's, I think, in my opinion, I am not a financial person, so I cannot give financial advice. Um, this is just my opinions only. But I find that that's the most popular and the most profitable strategy. Now, some people argue to go in and buy what they call growth stocks, where it's not really a dividend. You're buying this company at a low price, hoping that the stock will increase in price and you will make a large profit off of a large jump in the price of the stock. Some people say that a mixture of the two is the best way to go. For myself, I've gone more strictly with, well, I can't say strictly, because I actually do have a growth stock or two. For the most part, I put the larger chunk of my money into companies that pay dividends. Now, I have actually made the mistake, and I will tell you now. I made the mistake of not knowing exactly the best ways to do things, and I did jump into the crypto market, and that bombed. That tanked so hard. Oh my gosh. And a lot of it you can blame on timing. You know, I got into it at the wrong time, and the bottom fell out. So I've lost money on the crypto. And crypto's not really for me because it's not a dividend thing. I'm not really making any money back out of it. And because it's taken such a huge loss, I mean, well over 50%, um, it's kind of fallen out of my category of interest. I have no interest in it anymore. It's too volatile for me, too unstable. Um, with volatility and instability comes profit, believe it or not. So if you catch it at the right time, catch it at the right price, and invest in it, and it should go back up, and you can make a lot of money there. But for me, too much of a roller coaster. And so I've got some money out there that I'm trying not to lose. So I'm kind of still dabbling with it just a little bit until I can get rid of it and get out from under it. And then I'll pretty much stay away from the crypto market. I want something a little more steady and stable. I want something that's going to pay me, preferably monthly, but I'll take quarterly if it's a good one. So there's one of the mistakes I've made. In my idea of getting a monthly passive income and putting into dividend stocks, I have also found out I've kind of made another mistake. I've gone into some companies that all they're about is paying off a dividend. Their stock price kind of flatlines and or loses value and doesn't really recover ever. So what that means is, yes, I'm getting paid every month, but my investment in buying the stock itself is slowly losing a little bit of money. Now, fortunately, I've checked my numbers, and I'm just about breaking even. Matter of fact, next month I will actually go over even and be into the good from the amount of money that I've actually lost on stock price versus the amount of money I've made on dividend payments. So I'm finding out that I jumped in to get the bigger dividend payments, but it's not probably the best idea and the best route to go. I let myself kind of be influenced by a large dividend payment more so than the stability of the stock price itself. So some of the larger, better companies that have a better history and growth on their stock price that still pay dividends are kind of a better path, but their dividend payments are much smaller, which means less monthly income coming into me without increasing the number of shares that I own considerably. And I'm using that monthly money to coming in from my dividend payments to reinvest. Now, granted, I'm only dealing with a small number in my entire portfolio, so I don't have huge dollar figures invested into these companies right now that are paying me big dividends but losing share price. So I'm trying to figure out exactly what's the best way to go. Whether I just leave it alone, keep bringing in the shares or the dividends and reinvesting, or to take my money out of those and reinvest into companies that are more solid on the share price, even though they pay smaller dividends. And then I have less money every month to invest, to put back in. So I'm kind of stuck in a quandary there at the moment. I'm trying to figure all that out. And I guess what I'm trying to kind of point out and highlight to you guys is the stock market can obviously be super complicated and super difficult, and you might feel like you really are lost trying to get into it. And there is opportunity to lose money without a doubt. Make the wrong investments at the wrong time, you'll lose money. That's for sure. But the gains are also there. So it's one of these things, just like anything else in life. If you want to know the best way to do things, you gotta find out. You gotta study. You gotta do a little work. You gotta look into it, learn, and do better. By knowing what you're doing. And I'm learning. I'm getting better. I'm making better decisions. And I've hit some bumps along the road. I've lost a little bit of money, but it's part of the learning curve, I guess. Um, I'm doing better, and I looked at my overall financial situation there in the history and the documents, and I'm not doing that bad. Um, I just got to figure out where to go moving forward. I mean, I'm thinking my best strategy is probably just to leave what I have alone, especially for tax purposes, because when you start buying and selling things and getting these dividends and all, there's taxes involved. So less activity buying and selling equals less taxes. So I might just leave be what's there, and moving forward, start finding companies that I like at good price targets to invest in for a more solid stock price, and even though it's a little less on the dividend, but it's all going to continue to grow. I'm doing all right, even in times right now when things have just gone so sour. I mean, everything went south. We took a huge plummet, pretty much for the whole entire market, uh, including crypto. Crypto was the worst hit. Oh my gosh, that was a bloodbath over there. But even with all the negative that's happening in the recent months, I'm kind of taking advantage of it. You know, a lot of these really high quality companies, their stock price is on sale. Because the market's so far down, you can get these stocks at a cheaper rate than you would normally get. So I have been trying to do some of that as well to offset. Uh, I have a couple of things in the works out there that I really feel are going to make me some money, and they will offset the losses that I've taken, from my missteps. Uh, Case in point, J.P. Morgan, stock ticker's JPM. I've caught them. Excuse me. I've caught them down. My price right now is, I think, about 115. This stock is projected, and this is just from my analysis and what I've seen out there. This stock is normal average about 135-ish or more. It's in the 130s. And on the high end of what's speculated, projected, it could go as high as the 170s. And I bought it at 115. And they're a world-class business. They're one of the largest banks in the world. So obviously they pay a halfway decent dividend quarterly, and I'm going to be getting dividends paid to me while I'm holding a share price that's low, so that when the market corrects and it goes back up, not only am I going to be making money on the actual price of shares, but I'm actually going to continue to be making money off of the dividends. So that one's going to be great for me. I did get into Tesla. I didn't get in big, okay, but I did buy into Tesla. Tesla does not pay any dividends, but I got in at a price point that I'm comfortable with. I feel like it's going to increase, and it's going to, I guess, it's going to split soon. So the number of shares that I have are actually going to increase, even though the price will drop. Um, it's going to increase on the number of shares that I actually own, and then it'll start growing again on price. So I'm fairly certain that I'm going to make a really good chunk of money on the Tesla stock. As long as, something crazy doesn't happen, and, which you never know. It's the stock market, it's a business, it's a company, you never know. They could close their doors tomorrow, who knows? But I don't see that happening. I have a feeling that they're one of the companies to watch for the future, kind of like an Apple. Anyway, so that's kind of what I'm getting out here is on the stock market investing. If you decide to get into it, take it slow. Um, don't jump in large dollar amounts on anything right away. I mean, unless you just find something crazy, incredibly good deal, like J.P. Morgan. If I could have gotten into J.P. Morgan with a larger amount of money when it was dipping, it was all the way down to like one. I saw it at 111 and 112. If I could have got in then with more, I would have. I just didn't have the available cash to do it. If you see something really good deal like that, yeah, you jump on it. But for the most part, buy small, but buy continuously. You know, um, find a couple of really good companies that have a decent dividend payout, and just continuously buy. You know, catch it at the times when it's down a little bit. Try to improve your overall price that you've paid for, because it averages out for you every time you purchase. It will give you your average price point that you've paid to buy those shares. So try to keep, dropping that price point if you can, um, and keep investing smaller amounts all the time. And gradually your whole portfolio will start looking really, really nice. And in all honesty, right now, I've seen a couple of different YouTube accounts out there. They're talking about their dividend payouts for the month of July, and they made $80, they made $90, and one guy was $60, and one guy was $109, which was really good for what they've made on dividends in the month of July. Now, these accounts that they're talking about are actually $50,000 or more. My $30,000 account, I made $144 in dividends. So I kind of feel like I'm doing all right. I feel like, not knowing what I'm doing, technically, I'm still doing okay. I made more dividends than they did with lesser money. But again, it goes back to the discussion I had at the beginning of this about how I've invested in companies that are all about the dividends and not the share price, which may not be the best way. So they didn't make as much on the dividends as I made, but maybe they've done it the better way. You know what I'm saying? So I have to kind of readjust things and redo my thinking and moving forward to do better. But the stock market is there. It's a tool. So if you can get into it and start making good decisions and constantly buy a little at a time, and keep it going, you can grow a really nice portfolio and have that to look forward to later on when you really need it. So I kind of want to encourage people that even especially in volatile times, when the stock market goes low, that's the best time to get in, and then you ride the wave up. You know, and the stock market obviously has been around for a century or better, obviously, and it's still here. And people are still investing. People are still making money. So it's not going anywhere. It'll go up and down like a roller coaster, but it ain't going nowhere. And over the long term, it's profitable. It makes you money. If it didn't, it wouldn't be there. So just keep it in mind. It's a long-term process. Keep buying as much as you can, you know, small amounts at a time, and build it up. All right, guys. That's going to be my little rant about investing. Anybody who's actually investing and on the stock market and all that, if you have any tips, hey, drop them down in the comments. I'm always open. I'll go check out the company and take a look at it. So that's going to be my video for the day, guys. You guys have a good one. We'll see you in the next video.